Let's check Fluent UI. Hello everyone and welcome in the next episode. How are you doing? I hope you are well. So, a few days ago I was looking through internet and I found a UI framework that I haven't heard before about. I found Microsoft's Fluent UI framework for React. And I thought about trying it out. And then I thought, maybe I'll make a video about it. So here I am making a video about this, so join me and we will check out how Fluent UI works. Let's go to the computer. Okay, so let's start from creating an empty React.js application, and we are going to use it with Create React App. I'll call mine Fluent UI Dashboard. You can select whatever you prefer, and it might take a while. Okay, here we have the further instructions, so let's use it and let's use yarn start. And here we are. This is what you should see when your React application is ready. Now we need to install some additional things to have Fluent UI in our application. So let's use yarn add Fluent UI React. Of course, I'll add the documentation in the description so you can check it out, how to install it, and you don't have to remember all those commands. Okay, it also might take a while. Great, and we will need one additional package because we are going to use experimental cards. So let's use yarn add UI Fabric React cards. I will put this into description as well. And we are ready to start. So let's open our application, let's open the code, and we can start coding. Okay. I'm in the VS Code and here's my React application. So let's start from app.js and let's empty it because we don't need it anymore. Yeah, let's delete it all and this class name as well, this logo. And what we are going to do right now, we'll start from creating a navigation in a separate file as a new component. So let's create a file, I'll call it navigation.js and let's do it. Let's import React and all the necessary items from Fluent UI. So I'll need nav and initialize icons. Cool, so let's create a functional component. Let's add some empty div right here, and we also need to export this component. Okay, here we are on the Fluent UI website, and here you can check out what we are going to create. So let's go to the navs, and we would like something like this. Here is the code you can take, so we will have to create some links as well, but our navigation will be just one level because I don't need it. Okay, let's export. Oh yeah, here it should be different characters, so that's why we saw that error all the time. Okay, let's start from initialize icon here, because we won't see our icons if we won't use this function. And right now we need to create our links. So let's create it as a constant. And I would like to add about 4 links with icons. So we need a name. The first one will be dashboard. URL, so our will be empty. Key, this should be unique. And icon props. So inside we will add icon name. In my case it will be news. I selected those icons. Of course you can check out other icons and maybe you will like anything else. There are plenty of them. And also I would like to add some styles to our icon. So I want it to be a little bit bigger and blue. And now I'll copy paste it because there's no point of rewriting all this. And yeah, I need 4. Now I'll just change names, keys and icons. Great! Now we can add this to our navigation as groups. And also we need to add selected key because we would like one of our navigation item to be activated. So I'll select the key 1 dashboard. And I would like to add some styling. So I've already called it. Okay, navigation styles. So let's create this styling. Let's create a constant with navigation styles. Let's add it as root because we are passing it as parameters, so there are some rules. And let's add the styles. Okay, let's check out how it looks. Oh yeah, I forgot to implement it and add it to our app.js file. So let's do it. Let's import it into app.js. And also we will need to create some columns and some layout grid here. So we will need to import some CSS. Yeah. And right now let's create a grid. Okay, it's over here. So you can see that grid in Fluent UI is for 12 columns. And we would like to have one for 1 and the other one for 11. So let's go and let's create it. So the direction left to right, and right now the row. And inside this row we want to have a column, the small one with 1. And inside this column we are going to put our navigation. one. Okay, it works. It's not perfect. It needs some styling. So let's go back to our app.css file and let's do some styles. Of course, you can remove everything what was inside the app.css before, because we don't need that anymore. And let's start from a background color. It will be like a little bit of gray. And then I want the background color for my navigation to white. And let's remove some paddings and margins. And yeah, it looks exactly how I wanted it to look. So let's go back to app.js file and let's create the space for further elements. So let's build this bigger column, and inside that bigger column we are going to create 2 rows for 2 components which we will provide. Also, I'll add here a custom class name, main element, and as I told, 2 rows. Okay, let's go and build another component with cards. Let's create new file. I'll call it cards section.js. And let's start from importing everything what we need. Also, here we will use those cards from the different package. So remember that it's imported a little bit differently. Okay, and we'll also import some additional styles. And let's create a simple functional component. Let's export it and let's go to app.js file where we would like to implement it to be able to check out what's going on our component in the browser. So let's import and we'll put it into the first row. Exactly here. Okay, we are back here, so we are going to create, let's start from a simple div, and yeah, let's at first initialize icons, do not forget about it later. And what we need currently is some data. We need cards because we will use map to create 3 cards. So let's create a cards array. And my card will have the following properties: title, account, icon, and percentage. I'll copy paste. Cool, it's ready, so let's go and create the mapping. And inside the mapping, I'll add a column for 3. Inside that column, I'll create card, then a card section, and 3 card items. The first card item will have icon. And this icon will be generated from cart icon and the text for the header. So cart title. The second cart item is going to have the amount, also inside the text component. And the last cart item is going to have the percentage also inside the text component. So we can see it, but it doesn't look well yet. Let's go and create some styling. Let's do it inside the component. Okay, so I'll first from the first constants and styles for container. So all this section div. So I want to center it, that's why I'm going to use flex. That's a pretty cool method, I really like it. Okay, and let's add it to our div. As a style. Okay. That's pretty nice. Let's go and create some styles for icon. So let's start from the font size, we'll add some color, padding, because it doesn't look very well. I'll make it blue. Actually, blue is our primary color here. And let's add it as style as well. And now we are going to create an object with another styles. So let's call it styles. And let's add some values here. So the first styles will be for cart. And let's start from some background color. And some other properties. Cool, let's add this styling to the card. Here's as a styles, because that's what the documentation say. What's card prop for styling. And let's add another properties. So we would like to style all the text elements in a different way. So the first one will be for header. So just some simple styling. For amount, so for the second text element. And the last one will be for percentage. Okay, let's assign those properties right now. I'll copy it because it will be really similar. Okay. Oh, it's not exactly what I expected. Let's see what can be the back here. Oh yeah, here's the back with the column. And voila. Okay. Now we are going to create the last element, so we are going to create the table with some data just below it. So let's go back to the code and create another component. I'm going to create a new file called operationstable.js, and there we are going to create the table. So let's import everything what we need. Here I'll use details list. And yeah, that's it. And some external styles, I think, from Fluent UI. Okay, let's create a functional component. Let's export it. And here I would like to add this attribute for scrollable data. And I'll put a grid column here for 9 because I want it to be the same with like our cards. Okay. And I also want here some custom styles. And here let's put a details list. And don't forget about the export, that's important. Yeah, export default. Cool. Now we will need some columns and some items. So let's start from our items. It will be operations, like in the banking, for example. So we are going to have from, to, amount, and the date. I'll create about 5 like this. I'll copy paste it. You can create as much as you wish. Okay, so we can place here our items. Okay, now let's create columns. We'll have 4 columns and it should be an array with objects. And we will start from the key. It should be unique. So I'll put just column 1, but you can create any ID for this. And name of first column will be from. Field name will be the same as your properties in the object, so it should be from. Then let's add min width to 100, max width to 300, and is resizable to true. So we can assign column right now. And the other thing we would like is to turn off the selection possibility, selection mode. So to turn it off, I'll put 0, but you can feel free to try this. And so by default, it's enabled. Also, as you see, I have a custom class here, so let's create an object. And we will use that Mr. imported value here. Something seems wrong here. Oh yeah, that's additional S, which is not needed. Okay, and here let's place this CSS for the table. What we would like here is to make Martin Auto, and that's all. And the last thing we have to do is to import our operations table into the app.js. And check the result. That's the place, yeah. Okay, and let's see. It looks pretty cool, but it's not 100% perfect yet, because you see that it's a little bit wider than we need. And it also has this unexpected padding, I would say. So let's add some custom CSS in our app CSS file. Oh, and 2 is missing. Let's see what's wrong here. Oh yeah, I made a mistake. So as I told you, you have to be careful about it. Okay, so let's add some styles. This one will be for margin and to make it the same width. And another one will be for this unexpected padding on the top. I have
no idea why it's there. Okay, and voila! So I will place you all the links in the description, so feel free to check it out. If you want to see the code of this application, there is also a link for an article where you can see all the code and read how it was done. I'll also put a link to the Fluent UI documentation, so you can check out all the elements, and there are plenty of elements, as you can see. And thank you for watching. Good luck!
Great! So we did a simple project, a simple fintech dashboard using Fluent UI. Let me know in the comments if you knew this framework before, if you like it, and if you are going to play with it a little bit more. I hope you liked this video, and if yes, remember about thumbs up, and remember to subscribe our channel if you don't subscribe us yet. So, see you in the next video.